Wow, wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Valentine Anaba. Thank you so much for the insight into 3D street naming. In fact, he took us on a journey. Thank you very much, and thank you to the audience as well for sticking with us. We know we've passed time, but thank you for still staying with us. We'll just go straight. Okay, before we go to the question and answer, because I'm sure a lot of you have some pressing questions you want to ask. But before we go, that just to show the results of the poll that we took earlier on. Let's just show the results of the polls. All right, so we have a lot of people coming in from Ghana, Nigeria, Liberia. Wow, we have different regions as well represented. Wow, that's great. All right, and then also the industry, we have a lot of people from the education sector. We have utilities, local government represented, non-profits, natural resources. While we have GIS and IT software services also represented. Well, thank you all for coming. All right, in terms of GIS tools, a lot of you utilize the ArcMap, ArcGIS Pro, QGIS as well. Okay, we have some other people also using Hexagon as well, and there are a few others. All right. Okay. Our fourth question, which ArcGIS online app would you like to learn more about? A lot of you chose the dashboard, Survey 123. A good number of you also chose the drone, ArcGIS drone to maps, ArcGIS business analyst, the story maps as well is high up there. So I'll have the ArcGIS GeoBeam. Wow. Thank you so much for your feedback. We're really grateful. I believe, okay, I think the final one, remote sensing. Wow. 81% of you have employ remote sensing techniques in your line of work. And so definitely, thank you so much for your feedback. We'll definitely look at that as well. Thank you. All right, so we'll just move on straight to the Q&A session. For this Q&A session, because a lot of we spent so much time, and so we'll be very snappy. I'm sure our speakers have other engagements they want to attend to, and so what will happen is that you just raise your hand, you just click. The Zoom platform has an option where you can just raise your hand, so you just raise your hand, and then you'll be called upon to give your question. Before I call on our audience, I just want to read out some questions that were asked and some answers that were provided. Okay, so Yakubu Zakaria asked, I hope the slides can be shared with us. And yes, at the moment, okay, we'll speak to the speakers if they are willing, and they'll be able to. We'll definitely share the PowerPoints and make it available to all of you. But also note that this meeting is being recorded, and so we'll share it on our social media platforms, especially on YouTube. And so watch out for that as well. And then, okay, so Daniel Boatin and Pedu asked, please, I want to know the software is used for the models. I think Dr. David Nyomo responded to that. He indicated we use EDAS for data preparation and ArcGIS for the spatial modeling, since ranking was employed for the GIS analysis. Statistical analysis were done in Excel. However, HEC, HMSS, and the HECRAS are used for 1D and 2D flat routing. Okay. All right. So that is it. I hope, Daniel, your question was answered. We also have Isaac Laka. He asked a well-informative presentation. Hydraulic modeling need a lot of river gauge data, which are not readily available for many catchments in Nigeria. Hydrological modeling involves the use of climatic data, which are also not readily available at a dense grid network, while the multi-temporal image data have high cost implications in the country. So his question is, how do we bridge this challenge and the high cost of software? I think David, Doctor, Nyomu tried responding to that. He said you could download climatic data from online sources for use and perhaps use open source to meet this need. I don't know if Mr. Andaba, you would also want to chip in.
You mean on the software that we use for the modeling?
Yes, please.
Yes. Also, the modeling was actually done in ArcMap and then ArcGIS Pro. So within that, you have what we call the model builder. And the model builder allows you to create it in that graphical context as I displayed it. But if you're also someone who's good at programming, you can type the script, but it's much easier to use the graphic model builder interface to build that.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Anaba. Moving on to the next question, Emmanuel Yeboah asked, hello, doctor, in relation to flood prediction, what prediction model does machines or deep learning does your industry normally adopt in forecasting floods? You have the RNN, example, RNN, MLP, CNN, Doc, I don't know if you can just mention, respond to it so that we can all hear. Hello.
Hello? Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, hello, Doc. Are you with me?
Yes. Okay,
Sorry,
I think I've also responded to that.
yes.
At the time we used this, we didn't use any of the machine languages, but we use ranking procedure.
Okay.
And yes, and then I have also stated that maybe you will see in the next response that I made that analytical hierarchical network was used for some of the studies that we have carried out. And presently, most of the work is at the personal level in collaboration with other scholars, not necessarily at the industry level. Okay. Yes, there are other things that have been done at the industry level that are not reported in this work. So that's why I didn't state some of them. On a personal note, I have also stated that the one is also learning machine language now, and in response to one of the questions. And I have discussed with Mr. I don't know whether he's a doctor or Mr., but I'm talking about, yeah, because, sometimes it's an African thing, I'm talking about my friend from Ghana.
Okay,
And I've
Mr.
also
Andaba.
asked that if there is any assistance that could be given in that regards at a personal level, particularly in terms of training. Yes. So, but machine language is one of the things that we are using for other purposes, not for the flooding. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much for your response. All right, so it's my Ibrahim Mukaila says, I would like to thank Sambus Geospatial for this insightful conference. The presentations are top notch. I will be glad if the means of contacting the presenters can be made available either for collaboration or mentoring. And so definitely we'll speak to our speakers and find out from there if they would want to make their contacts available. But I believe Mr. Anaba indicated that he's available, and so we'll reach out to the others and definitely we'll share their contacts with you. Someone says, I want to know more about the city engine. Definitely, we'll contact you. Then Ibrahim Okala again says, actually, I would love to stay for the question and answer second, but okay, sure. All right. Okay, so just to pick about 3 questions from the audience, those who are with us, kindly just show by hand if you have a question that you want to answer. Okay, we want to ask Mustafa Tamimu. Okay,
Yes.
Mustafa, you're welcome to the
I'm happy
conference.
to actually, thank you. I'm calling from Ghana.
Okay.
I really enjoyed the presentations. Please, the first presenter, the data he shared concerning the Lake Chad. I don't know how, like the source of the data, if you can help us get the source of the data.
Okay. Okay. So we'll reach
Thank
out.
you.
Yeah, I can answer that one.
Okay,
Because
doctor.
the data for the satellite images are online. The 1963 image is declassified because it was actually from the American spy satellite in those days, but it's been declassified. So the data is available online from the Landsat website. So most of those data sets are available. And there is additional work that has been done on that using Nigerian satellite data, even though I did not include it in this presentation. Like I mentioned, most of the changes in the area keeps fluctuating, but that has not really, there's no significant improvement in the volume of water in Lake Chad that is on the other side now. But the data is available online. That is the satellite data. So it's our ability to extract the information, and then see. That's just what I can say. So if you can go to Landsat data site, you will see all the archive data that is available online for download. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you very much, Doc. And I believe Mr. Anaba also mentioned some sources that you can also get data. Definitely, I believe we'll share that information as well when you provide it so that you can get information on that. Or Mr. Anaba, would you want to chip in on that?
Also, I could just extract the links and then send it to you. I'm sure you have a means of contacting the users here so that you could just send it to them.
Sure. All right. So Mustafa, just drop your email address in the chat, and definitely our guys will pick it up from there. Okay. Thank you very much. There's a question says, Mr. Anaba, if you could just answer this, says, can we get access to some of these models?
Pardon, I didn't get the question.
Can we get access to some of these models?
Yes, this is to the Sambus team. I had actually called to make some inquiries whether you had a repository where these models could be kept.
Okay.
Because with my first models, we created in ArcGIS, but I converted them to QGIS, and QGIS has a repository, so you can access them. But ArcGIS, we need to find one, or either I send it here, and then you send it to them.
All right, sure, that's fine. So we'll definitely contact, and then we'll contact them, share their links when contacting the attendees. Okay. All right, so we'll have space for two more questions. Time is fast spent. Just raise your hand and we'll call on you to ask a question. We had great presentations from Dr. Nyomo, Mr. Francis Sandolfo on elections and election-related matters, as well as from Mr. Ismail Agay on the ECOWAS and the activities. And then finally, we capped it off with Mr. Valentine Anaba on street naming, modeling, and 3D. Okay, I have Olusola. Olusola, please.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you so much for such an enlightening conference that we put together. I came across this just a couple of days back, and I think it's really a great eye-opener. I'm pretty much new in the field.
Okay.
And most of my dealings have been self-learning and all of that. So I wanted to know, on projects such as these, do we by any chance have any of the guests who probably have projects at hand where one could intern on, just to gather practical experiences of being part of process of producing something worthwhile? I mean, that's just my concern. It's one of the things I'm personally seeking out for, way to implement some of the things I've been learning myself and also learn across. So if by any chance we have any of the speakers who have such openings or contacts that one can intern with. So that's my question basically.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so opportunity for internship to gather practical experience. Mr. Gay,
Yes.
any internship opportunities at your end at the ECOWAS headquarters for GIS?
Samuel, thank you. Thank you, Kobe. Olusola, thank you. Yes, we used to receive interns, but is the Director of Human Resources. Yeah, we used to, yes, it's where you can send your, you can apply, you know, it's free. It's free, you can apply. You write to the Director of Human Resources of ECOWAS. And in your letter, you just put which department you want to, go. Like we do GIS in early warning directorate. So you can mention in your letter, okay, you have some, you want to, get some GIS skills, or you understand, so that they can send you to the early warning directorate.
All right. Thank you so much,
Welcome.
Mr. Gay. And so all of the rest of you who are shy, free opportunity has been open, free door has been open. Make sure you take advantage, and thank you, Olusola, for the question. I would want to ask
Thank you.
Mr. Kwame Edu. Kwame Edu was trying to ask a question. If he's here. Kwame Edu, are you still on? Kwame Edu. Okay. Okay. All right. He's not ready at the moment. Okay, so I'll just go on to Ola. So, forgive me. Ayodamola. Sorry if I didn't pronounce your name well. If you could just ask your question.
Okay, good evening. I really love this.
All right.
This is my first time of coming across a program like this. I'm really grateful for this kind of program.
Okay, thank you so much.
I'm a student of Federal University of Technology, FUTA, and I'm studying surveying and geoinformatics. So actually, I don't really have practical knowledge about GIS of a thing, but with the little lecture I received this evening, like I'm really impressed from Mr. Valentine, and he was talking about dropping his contact or something like that. So I would like to have it.
Definitely. We'll make it available to all of you. We'll make it available. Thank you so much.
Sorry, hello.
Yeah,
the lady from FUTA.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Incidentally, I know that we have collaboration with your university, and students from your university come here for about 2 weeks, almost every year. So I think you need to go back, find out in the department. I don't know whether Professor Akinyede is still there, and if he's still there, you go and confirm, because I know that every year for 2 weeks, students come from FUTA to this to NASDA. So I don't know what level you are. So, but it is at a certain level. I know from, I think 400 level or so. So please, I think you could go back to your department and confirm.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Nyomo, for the response. Thank you so much. All right. I think I'll take the last question. The last question related to the presentation. Last question related to any of the presentations. And then we'll wrap it up for the 2022 Sambus GEO User Conference. All right. I think Evelyn wanted to speak. Okay, is Kwame back? Kwame Edu. Okay, Mustafa Tamimu.
Yes.
All right.
Hello.
Yeah, hello, we can hear you.
Hello. Yes. First, my chat, I think is disabled. Then secondly, I don't know if this GIS online, I tried it a couple of times, but I don't know whether because I don't have programming background. That's why I'm not able to host it to maybe a mobile device or whatever is supposed to be visualized by other people. Thank you.
All right, sure. So we'll take your detail and then we'll contact you to assist you. Okay. We'll contact you and then try and do well to assist you. Thank you very much. All right, it's Kwame. All right, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure having you all. I would want to move straight to the last item. If you have any questions, we are going to provide you with the contacts of the speakers so that you can get in touch. If you have any questions, just provide them, we'll send it to them. And you can feel free, and we'll be able to sort you out. The links on some of the resources will also be provided. And so just make sure that you get in touch with us and we'll be able to help you. All too soon, we've come to the end. And so I would want to call upon our General Manager for the Ghana office, Mr. Matthias Agbozo, to give us a closing remarks. Mr. Agbozo. Yeah, it's Mr. Agbozo with us. Okay. It seems like we're having a bit of a challenge getting Mr. Agbozo on the line. Mr. Agbozo, are you there? Just give me a wave if you are there. All right, so I believe we'll just move on ahead. Okay. Thank you all so much for making time, and we really appreciate you for coming in and making the time, taking time off your busy schedule. A special thank you to the speakers. We know how very busy you are, a lot of engagement, but you still made the time to honor our invitation. We are very grateful. Thank you to the audience for sticking with us right from the beginning till now. We are very grateful. Thank you, and